hoping that you guys have finished the basic part of introductory part to fractions. We are going to start with addition and subtraction of fractions. So let's directly jump into numericals so that it's easy to understand that way. So there are few certain checklists to do for every fraction addition or subtraction. First is the sign. When I talk about signs, it's to do with if a given set of values are in their simplest form with regarding to signs. Example, over here there is nothing complicated happening, while this problem on the right, negative of minus of negative 11 by 12. This part is to be solved before you start doing anything with the fractions. While over here you can see negative 1 by 5, negative 2 by 9. There's nothing to solve regarding to the fractions themselves. There's nothing to solve over there. So in that regard, nothing to be touched over here. Right? So there's no sign that need to be handled for this question because there's nothing that we need to simplify with regarding to the sign. So you'll understand this better with few more examples. We already seen what is the simplest form. So let's check if all of them are in the simplest form. That is, the HCF between the numerator and denominator is 1. This is also 1 and this is also 1. So this is to do with the HCF between numerator and denominator. Now, like terms. So the like terms, are they same? Yes. The denominator need to be same for them to be called as like fractions. More than terms, like fractions. Okay, in this case the denominators are same and thus they are like fractions. Now the next thing is to do with addition or subtraction between the fractions. So 2 by 5, 3 by 5, 4 by 5. So 5 is in the denominator. Okay, and the numerator has 2, 3 and 4. So we end up with 5 and 9 by 5. Right, as simple as that. Okay, so I would request all of you to try each question on your own. So let's look at the checklist. Anything to do with the signs? Nothing. So first thing is done. Are they in the simplest form? For that, let's start by writing the question. The HCF between this and this is just 1. So yes, they are in the simplest form. Then what is the next step? Check if they are like fractions. Yes, the denominator are the same. So yes, they are like fractions, and we have 2 plus 3 negative 4 whole of this divided by 5. Right? So we have 5, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 minus 4 is 1, 1 by 5 as your answer. Okay, here we are looking at negative of something, positive of something. There is no complicated sign over here, so that is done. Next step is what? Next step is to check if they are in the simplest form. That is, the HCF between the numerator and denominator is 1. 1 and 1. So yes, they are in the simplest form. Then are the denominators same? No, they are not the same. So we need to find the LCM between what? 5, 9 and 3. So we can clearly see 9 and 3 are not co-prime. So if you remember the LCM part, we need to go with a normal method wherein we take the common factor between the numbers 9 and 3, that is 3 and 1. 5 will remain however it is, because there is no factor of 3 over here in 5. And 5, 3 and 1, they are all co-primes with respect to each other. So we are done with the solving. So LCM is just the multiple of not multiple of, LCM is the multiplicate product of, basically LCM is the product of 5, 3 and 3, that is 45. Okay, now this is the tricky part. So here till now it was quite simple. Once you find that the denominator are not the same, this is where it gets a bit tricky, and this is something which you need to understand. See, negative 5 by 1 or any number to be frank, you can always multiply with 1. Now, can I write 1 as some ratio which helps me? In this case 9 by 9 helps me. Again, 1 can be written as 10 by 10. Think about it. It can be written as anything, but the numerator and the denominator has to be the same. 15 by 15. Whatever is convenient, we can multiply and divide, because multiplying with 1 with any given number will not change the number. Okay, so now we are looking at negative 1 by 5 into 9 by 9 is negative 1 into positive 9 is 9, 5 by 9 is 45. So this is basically your fraction multiplication, wherein the numerator is to be multiplied with the numerator, denominator with the denominator, and we have this. The next one is negative 2 by 9. Here too I will multiply with 1. Negative 2 by 9 into 1 can be written as something which helps me to convert the denominator to 45. In this case it is 5 by 5 minus 10 by 45. 2 by 3 into 1 is equal to 2 by 3 into what should I multiply with? 15 by 15, 30 by 45. Okay. Now we have all the denominator to be same. Thus we will rewrite the question as like fractions. Once we have them to be like fractions, all I have to do is draw a line, write the denominator to be 45 and write the numbers and the signs respectively, so that there is no mess of signs. So post this is quite simple. Negative 9 and negative 10 are to be added. Negative 19 positive 3 divided by 45. So here 30 and 19 are to be subtracted as they are different signs. The difference is positive 11 divided by 45. So we have a few more questions. Again, if you do all of this topic once, you're done. So be patient. We're not going to have any test on this from your exam point of view, right? Exams, final exam or term exam or your internal exam will not have any question from this topic, but it will be useful. It will be there indirectly or directly. Indirectly, is it not? So knowing it is important, but the amount of writing I am doing, you need not do it for your exams. Okay, so once you get used to it, there are shortcuts. So as and when I come across different topics, I'll be talking about how to do something faster, but here you learn it systematically. You also write the way I'm writing, all of it. Okay, so please pause the video and try the next question. We have to resolve the sign. I told you, whatever you do, always resolve the sign first. Negative into negative is positive. 11 by 12 is your answer over here. That, let me re-substitute back to the question. Negative 5 by 8 plus 11 by 12. Now find the HCF between, check if the HCF is 1 between numerator and denominator. Yes, they are 1, means they are in the simplest form. Now find the LCM between the denominator 8 and 12. So you have 8 and 12. 4, 2s are 3s are. Further, we can't do anything anymore over here. So the LCM between 8 and 12 is 4, 2, 8, 8 3s are 24. Now all I have to do is write the number multiply and divide with something which is convenient, so that I get 24. Here in this case it's 3 by 3. In this case it's 4 by 4. 9 by 9. What is it? 2 by 2. So I get minus 15. Negative 15. How? Negative 15. Negative 5 into positive 3 is negative 15. Negative into positive is negative. 5 3 is a 15. This is 24. Positive 11 into 2 is 22 by 24. And we have 24 in the denominator. Negative 15 plus 22 is your last but one step. Here we have to take the difference. Both of them being of different sign, we have to take the difference. And the difference is 7 by 24. And this is it. They are co-prime, so we have solved the required question. Okay, so the next variation is wherein we don't have the fraction in simplest form. So what should we do if I don't have it in the simplest form? We need to convert it into simplest form. Before that, we have to check for signs. So are the signs same? Simplified. They are simplified in the first term, not in the second term, and positive of negative is negative 13 by 9. So are they not in the simplest form? Look at it. HCF of the first term is 1. Second term is 13. So they are not in the simplest form. One of them is not. How do you convert it? Negative 4 by 9. Negative 13 by 39 divided by. We are dividing with 13 by 13. And we have negative 4 by 9. Negative 1 by 3. What is the LCM? LCM between 9 and 3, that is 9. So we have to convert both the fractions to the respective denominator. Well, in this case it's both 9, so this is already 9, and this too, this has to be converted by multiplying with what? 3 and 3. So negative 4 by 9, negative 3 by 9. Simple multiplication. Numerator to be multiplied with numerator, denominator to be multiplied with denominator, and we have this. So next is simple step. Write the numbers with their signs, and in this case it's to be added, and we are done. Right? Last but one question. No, wait, there are last two questions actually. Oh no, there are three questions. First is the sign. Sign issue is not there. Next is it in simplest form? Well, if you have a deep look into it, they are not in the simplest form. Here the HCF is 2 and here it is 5. So what should you do? Divide both the term with the respective HCF value. Right? Here the HCF is 5, so divide with 5 and 5. It's a simple division over here. 2 1s are 2, 2s are negative divided by positive is negative. Always do the sign first. What I did was not, it is right, but it's not the right thing to do. Okay, so 1s are 5s are 5 1s are 1s are 5 1s are 10s are. So here you have negative 2 by 5, positive 1 by 10. The next step is to find the LCM between 5 and 10. In this case the LCM is 10. Right? So in the next step we have 2 by 5 plus 1 by 10, making the denominator same. So I need to multiply with 2. Here I need not multiply with anything. So negative 2 into 2 is negative 4 by 10 plus 1 by 10. So here all I have to do is, right, add and subtract. Difference is negative 3 and 10. Done. The last two problems. We're not going to come back to fractions anymore, at least not directly. Be happy for that. Solving. Okay, any sign issue? Yes, big issue over here. So let's look into that. Negative, negative, and negative. So clearly we can see that negative, 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 multiplying and dividing. What will happen? Negative divided by negative is positive. Positive into negative is negative. So one more rule we can use is any three negatives in multiplication and division will lead to negative. So this is your simplified form of the signs. Substitute that in the question. Negative 3 by 9, negative 4 by 20, and negative 110 by 220. The next step is, are they in simplest form? Just let's have a look at their HCF. 3 and 9 HCF is 3, 4, 1, 1, 0. We have to solve them. How? We need to divide both the numerator and the denominator with something which is 1 minute. Okay, for the first term we need to divide with what? The HCF of 3 by 9, that is 3. Next one 4 by 4. Next one, that's all. So here we have negative 3 divided by 3 is 1, and this is 3. Negative 1 by 5, negative 1 by 2. Okay, are they like fractions? No. So we need to find the LCM between 3, 5 and 2. That is what? 5 into 2 is 10, 10 3 is 30. Always do multiplication which helps you to do it faster. Okay, 5 into 2 will help me more than starting off with 3 into 5. So 30, I need 30 in the denominators. So again, I will use that method wherein I am multiplying and dividing with the same number. In this case, it's 10 by 10, 6 by 6. 15 by 15, minus 10 by 30, negative 6 by 30, negative 15 by 30. All are of the same sign. So with that in mind, I'm going to write here 30, right? All of them are same sign, and sorry, plus the denominator are the same. So first we'll write 30 in the denominator, and since they are of same sign, what should we do? Add or subtract? We need to add them. So here the addition, it will add up to negative 31 by 30, negative being because of all the numbers are negative. Last question for the video. So the question has to do with negative 4 square by 18. So negative 4 has to be solved first before I do anything else. I need to solve negative 4 into negative 4, that is negative plus positive 16. What tells you that before doing anything with the fraction, addition or subtraction, we should handle the square? What rule tells this? Yes, it is board mass. Okay, so there was no brackets, but there was operation on order. So we have 16 by 18, and next is positive 3 by 10. So first is your square, because the question had it as per your board mass. We need to handle that before handling addition or subtraction. Is it not? There is division, but we are considering this as fraction, so we are not trying to solve it by dividing, right? So directly we'll jump on to addition and subtraction. Okay, so we had to finish your order. So once that is done, we're looking at this. So here there is a sign issue, positive of negative. So we have 16 by 18, positive of negative is negative 3 by 10. Is it not? So what is the next step? We have to check for if there is simplest form. So HCF of 16 and 18 is 2, 3 and 10 is 1. So we have to simplify it by dividing with their respective HCF. So 2 by 2, and here there is nothing to be solved, so it is the same. And we have here 8 by 9, 3 by 10. Right? Don't forget the signs. There is a negative sign over here, so I need to copy the same. Next we have LCM between 9 and 10, that is 90. We have 8 by 9 into something, negative 3 by 10 into something. So 10 by 10, 9 by 9. This is 80 by 90, and this is 27 by 90. That's it. So the last step will be 80 minus 27 by 90. Right? Since they're like fractions, I can just add or subtract them. In this case, we're going to subtract, and here the difference will be 30, 50, 53 by 90. That's it. So there's nothing that we can do over here. So we are done. But before I finish, I would like to discuss how I got 57 faster. No, I didn't do normal subtraction. I used something different over here, and that difference is this. Negative 27, I'm going to write it as negative 30 plus 3. Make sense? Now, 80 minus 30 is 50 plus 3, that is 53. And that's how I got 53. So again, small places, every now and then I'll be adding tricks. See, we can't list out all the things that is good for you. It has to be shown you by application. If not, you will get bored. You won't learn basically end of it. So you need to watch everything carefully, not just getting the answer. It's also about the tricks and tips that you can borrow. Again, you might find something which is even better than many things which a teacher does. That's how it is. It always is. So add it. That you need not change in yourself. Whatever is missing, you need to add them. So that's how you become better every time you practice or learn from someone or something new. Right? So I'll see you in your test and the next set of videos.